We're going to try to focus in this session particularly on exposures and actions that may occur in this area, in the Southwest Pennsylvania area. But first I wanted to give you some basic cancer statistics for this area. Some will be about Allegheny County itself, and some will be about Southwest Pennsylvania. So Allegheny County is tracking similar to the national trends as a whole. You can see, and this is another one of these slides that goes back 20 years or more. And so let's see if I can read the color scheme here. Allegheny looks like it's in green. So that's the top line, especially those most recent years. And the sort of smoothest line is actually the US rate. And so Pennsylvania as a whole is sort of in between. Allegheny County has higher rates than Pennsylvania as a whole, and Pennsylvania as a whole has higher rates than the US. It's part of this phenomenon of the highest rates of cancer in general are in the Northeast, and a couple of the southern states like Mississippi. Kentucky actually leads the way most recently. But Alabama, Mississippi and Louisiana are similar to the Northeast. Those are the kind of cancer alleys, if you will. And then the lowest cancer rates in this country are in what I call the mountain states. So Pennsylvania is part of this high incidence Northeast. And this is childhood cancer in Allegheny County. This line it's a 3-year moving average, so it is smooth. It would otherwise be quite jumpy. But I think you can see in this is an overall trend for childhood cancer incidence in the Allegheny County region, or in Allegheny County itself, upwards over the last 20 or so years. So again, similar to the national patterns that we've been talking about earlier today, and really no difference here in Allegheny County. Sort of a depressing upward trend. I have a friend who said studying of lines like this is called blipology. Which is the blip? Is it the up? But you can see there is a general trend. And now I'm talking about lung cancer in Allegheny County. And these rates were provided, as you can see at the bottom, by the Pennsylvania Department of Health's database. Its nickname is EDDI. And then in the box on the right are additional data that were provided to us by the Pennsylvania Cancer Registry itself. And they require that we say that these data are presented by me and don't necessarily represent the positions of the Pennsylvania Cancer Registry. They were very responsive to my request, I would say. And so here we have a picture of Black men having the highest rate of lung cancer in Allegheny County. White men next highest, although it's being sort of rivaled by the rates in Black women, lung cancer in Black women, which are also coming up recently. And then the lowest rates of lung cancer still in this county are in white women. And the overall trend, especially in men, is down. So that's good news. And I think it does, as many speakers have said today, reflect smoking cessation or prevention of onset of smoking. And then when we look at some specific comparisons in this area between women in Allegheny County and national rates, the excess is actually quite high. In women, it's 38% elevated this is lung cancer, compared to national rates, and in men, it's 32% elevated. And so both of those, or at least in women, are higher than the Pennsylvania state rate, which is 17% elevated in Allegheny County. So the way I summarize this is that cancer rates are elevated and lung cancer is elevated in Pennsylvania as a whole, and in Allegheny County in particular, and Southwest Pennsylvania, which I will not be showing, it's even more elevated. So that's the task. Here's one more slide about another cancer that we've mentioned several times, bladder cancer, also one that's strongly associated with air pollution. You might wonder, how does that happen? Well, what's breathed in gets into the blood and eventually gets excreted. So carcinogens that are in the air pollutant eventually wind up in the urine and potentially attacking the cells lining the bladder. So in any case, whatever the mechanism, Actually, I've heard that described in a lot more detail than what I just said, but that's basically it. Age-adjusted rates of bladder cancer in Allegheny County are higher in men than in women, and those are fairly stable, fairly flat over the last several years. But compared to national rates, bladder cancer in Allegheny County are really elevated, significantly elevated in women and men. And even both of those are elevated compared to the rest of Pennsylvania. So both lung cancer and bladder cancer are high in Allegheny County and higher even than Pennsylvania is elevated in those two types of cancer for the state as a whole. I should say a famous cancer researcher named Irving Selikoff used to say, statistics are human beings with the tears wiped away. So I realize I'm just showing you statistics here, but these are human beings that we're talking about, as I'm sure you're all aware.